I'm spinning outside my window. I'm spinning outside my window.
Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. We are back with a very special guest. If you guys are new here, hi, my name's Abby, and this is my husband Connor. This is his first, well, kind of first. This is his first video on my channel. We actually already filmed this video, and then the audio was terrible, so we're filming it again. We just got married a little over a month ago, and right after we got married, I was asking you guys on my Instagram what kind of videos you wanted to see, and a lot of you said you wanted to see a Q&A with Connor, so I asked you to ask us questions, and those are the questions we're answering today. We're just gonna get right into it. And how do you manage nursing and marriage? My fiance is a cop, and our schedules are nuts.
As a firefighter, I work a 48 hours schedule. So I work 48 hours on, 48 hours off. So I get a lot of time of just like free time. If everybody thinks that's crazy, you're up for 48 hours. No, as a firefighter, we work a normal work day, and then once that day is over, you get to go to bed, you can watch movies, do whatever you want. Getting those 2 days off is really nice, and we kind of schedule everything to where I'm gonna do all my chores and appointments and all that while I'm at work. She schedules her homework and studying and all that stuff when I'm also at work, so it makes it really nice. When I get home, we have a lot of time together. It's a little different for your fiance who's a cop, because obviously he works majority of the days and they're long schedules, long shifts.
Right.
So yeah, that's difficult because I'm sure he comes home from work just beat. Come home from work and I just woke up.
Off of what Connor said, I would agree. I feel like with you it might be a little different just because I doubt your husband as a cop is working the same kind of shift as Connor is. Just being intentional about the time you have together and really focusing on whatever you need to get done while he's gone would probably be helpful, so that when you are together you can actually do stuff and it's not just like you sitting there studying and he's watching TV. All right, the next question. Where do you see your life in 10 years in both your career and in your relationship?
I hope to be on the military. I'm a firefighter in the military, like we were talking about. I've been in the Air Force for about 3 years, and I have 3 years left, so definitely out of the Air Force. I do not want to stay in. I love being a firefighter, but I don't like being in the military. So definitely, I know we don't want to settle down here in Colorado. Settled into a house, careers. You know, I've been working on, I hope, hopefully on the job for about 7 years by then. Probably a few kids, a couple more dogs.
Not a question, but you should do couples challenges on your channel. Maybe?
Yeah.
If they come up? Yeah. What state do you guys live in, and any plans on moving to another state?
So yeah, kind of what we talked about. We currently live in Colorado. I'm not originally from Colorado, I'm from California. And she's from Maryland, raised in Hawaii, and lives here in Colorado now. We do not want to stay here. We hate the snow.
Yeah.
Don't care much for the cold. I mean, her being raised in Hawaii and me being raised in Southern California, you learn to like the heat. So I miss the heat, and I want to be back in it.
I think we're also the kind of people that like, okay, we definitely enjoy fall and like fall weather, but if we really want to be experiencing all 4 seasons, we can just go visit somewhere else. We don't feel the need to stay because we're just not winter people. We need a story on how you two met.
We met 2.5 years ago. That's when we started dating. I'd say we probably dated for about a month before we made things like official.
Yeah, for dating.
But we actually met on Tinder.
Yeah.
I had joined the military, I went through all my training, and I got stationed in Colorado. And when I got here, being stuck on the base all the time, there wasn't much to do. So a couple of the guys I worked with convinced me to download Tinder.
Hey Katie, if you're watching this.
Never really been on it before, so I was on there for a little bit, and then I came across her, swiped right, and messaged her, and she messaged me back, and I messaged her again, and she never messaged me back. So yeah, so I actually unmatched her because ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
And I deleted Tinder just because I was kind of bored of it at that time. She just happened to delete Tinder around that time too, and the reason why she didn't respond is she wasn't really active on Tinder. About a week after that though, I got bored again and re-downloaded it. So I re-downloaded it, and she happened to re-download it around the same time. Came across her profile again, swiped right. I was like, hey, I know this girl. I remember that's why my first message was like, hey, don't I know you?
Yeah.
She said, oh yeah, and then she finally started responding to my messages.
Yeah.
So destiny, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
Tinder was trying to bring us together.
Meant to be, right? I had Tinder at the time only because like a friend of mine was like, oh, you're single, like get Tinder, like whatever, it's a great way to meet people. And I was just like, okay. So I did, but I hated it. I deleted it, and then I re-downloaded it, and that's when we matched the second time. And I recognized him because of a picture of his dog. And I just remember his dog. It felt like I recognized that dog in that photo. So I swiped again, and that's when he was like, oh, like you look familiar. I think he said like something about me being in nursing school or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, you look familiar too. And then I almost immediately gave him my phone number. Just, you didn't even ask for it. I was like, here you go. Because I knew that I hated Tinder. Like I never checked it. I didn't have the notifications turned on. So I knew if I gave him my number, I'd like actually respond, because that's why I did it the first time. So I gave him my phone number. Kind of went from there. We were pretty like intentional from the beginning. We kind of decided if we're going out on a date, it's because we see like a potential relationship here. So we were pretty serious off the bat. And then I remember Connor telling me like the next girl I date is gonna be the person I marry. So when we got into a relationship, we were real serious at that point.
Basically, she swiped right because of my dog.
How long have you two been together, and when did you know he or she was the one?
Been together for 2.5 years, but I'd say almost immediately. I mean, like she said, I'm not going into a relationship if like things aren't gonna get serious. I was tired of just dating to date. After the first date, but definitely after the second date.
Yeah, I'd agree. Like, I think I went into it knowing it was serious because we wouldn't have even gone on a date if I didn't think it was worth my time, or vice versa. And so our first date went great, and like off the bat I was like, okay, this is like really cool. Like, I really liked you. But our second date, we actually went to the museum, and then we went to the Cheesecake Factory, and we sat there for hours talking. And from our second date, I was dead set. I knew Connor was it. Are you in the military? No.
Yes.
My wedding is November 7th, 2020. Congratulations. Give me any tips.
Try and find an all-inclusive place. That made life really easy. I mean, I wasn't too involved in the planning and all that. For her, being in nursing school, I mean, it's kind of a handful. So having an all-inclusive, it came with everything. So it came with a wedding planner, so they did everything for her, and all we had to worry about was outfits, what we're wearing, pictures, video, and then like invites. So I do that, and I think at the very bare minimum, get a wedding planner.
How long did you guys date before you got engaged?
So kind of already talked about this, but 1.5 years. It would have been much shorter. Most of it was out of respect for our parents, but I mean, I told her from day one, like, I'll marry you tomorrow, so.
Yeah. Were you worried about the financial responsibility of moving in together?
Not necessarily about, you know, the responsibility of moving together. I had a nice savings put together, she had nice savings put together. So we were fine. I'm the one that handles all of our finances, and when we combined our accounts and all that stuff, it actually took more stress off because I didn't have to worry about like, all right, is she doing okay money-wise? Like, does she need money for this? Or like, all right, who's paying for this grocery? Who's paying for this? It's all coming out of the same account now. So it actually took a lot of stress out of it. It made me more financially smart about it. And we always run stuff through each other. So like, if we're gonna make big purchases, we're not just gonna do it behind each other's back. We always like, hey, are you okay with this?
Yeah.
We don't just spend just because.
And I definitely think another thing was we really budgeted out everything before we decided to move in together. We really took the time to look at all our options. We didn't have to move into this apartment complex. We had other options, and we just priced it out. We looked at what each of us were making, we looked at our savings, and we broke everything down. You know, what's rent, what's average utilities for the area we live in, what are we gonna spend on groceries, but we made sure that we could afford it and still had room, still have spending money. It wasn't like we were living paycheck to paycheck either.
I wasn't too worried.
How to stay motivated when you still have years to go till you graduate, been in three to go. I think for me, the biggest thing is focusing on what your end goal is. So like, I know that I want to be a nurse. I know that I don't want to do anything else, so it's worth it. Yeah, it's hard in the moment, especially when you're like in the thick of it or you just want to be done. But I think it's really important to just remember what your end goal is.
I do understand the whole doing 3 years and 3 years left. I mean, I have 3 years in the military and I have 3 years left. I want to be done just as much as you do. You've already done 3. You're halfway.
Yeah.
What's another 3 years? 6 years is such a small portion of your life. You're gonna look back and it's just gonna be like that time flew by. Like. Okay,
so now like the most asked question of this entire thing is all about babies. Got a ton of questions about babies. The question that I wanted to answer most was, is it career first or is it family first? And at what point do you guys want to start like trying to have kids?
It's definitely career first right now. Trust me, we would love to have a kid right now, but we're trying to think more into the future, long term. I want to be done with my military time. That's the biggest thing for me. She needs to be done with school.
I'd like to have worked for at least a year or two.
Yeah, foot in the door. I mean, at the absolute minimum, since I have 3 years left in the military and she'll definitely be working by then, 3 years is the absolute minimum. And then
like the minimum of how long we're gonna wait to start.
Yes, yeah.
In regards to the question of like how many kids do you want, we'd be grateful for anything. We'd be grateful for one, and if that's all we're supposed to have, then that's all we're supposed to have. But in a perfect world, I think we would like 3 to 5. Which sounds crazy.
And the reason to that, yeah, she comes from family of 2, and her and her brother are 9 years apart. And I'm actually one of 4, and I'm the youngest, and I love having 3 other siblings that are all really close in age. It was really nice. We're very family-oriented people, so we want that, you know, big family and those big holidays with lots of people and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so still a ways out, but that's definitely what we're leaning toward and hoping toward. And then the other questions were all about baby names in any ideas for baby names, and if we had multiples, what would their names be? So names is something we've actually talked about a lot, and we have a list of names that we like. I don't think revealing their name will be anything that's happening until they're here. We'd like to go into the hospital with, you know, maybe a name that we're pretty set on, or a couple that we have in mind, but we don't want to say this is baby's name until the baby's here and we're 100% certain.
I've never been a big fan of those people that be like, oh, little James is in my tummy, I can't wait to meet little James. It's just so weird to me, and I don't like that. And
Yeah.
Who knows, the name might change when the baby's out.
So that's it. That's the end of our questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much to my husband for coming and being a part of it. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye
I'm
guys!
spinning out all the way down. I'm spinning out all the way down. I'm spinning out all the way down. I'm spinning out all the way down.